Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist found the mat last night, so for moving forward, we've got that, which is amazing. Very glad to have this back and out of a box. And you know what? Today we're going to do a little bit of non-Yu-Gi-Oh content because there's a handful of you that truly, really, honestly enjoy it. And you know what? I enjoy showing off things that I've owned for years, playing other games. So let's take one from Magic the Gathering, a game that you guys all know. And this deck's quite old for me. I've had this one for, oh, geez, I don't even know. It's been a minute. Now, it is missing one card. It's in the box. I just didn't get everything fully sorted out. So it's going to be 59 cards. I'm going to tell you which one to double up, and we're going to start with that. So the first one is, it's going to be, I'll tell you what the deck is first. The deck is a burn deck because it's what Magic the Gathering basically invented, was the mono red burn. It was one of the best things I've ever played. It is one of the decks that has one of the highest consistency rates across all the games that I've played. And again, it sort of set a trend, like a lot of other decks, a lot of other games. Actually take this into account and try to sort of piggyback off of it. I mean, we've played Yu-Gi-Oh for, geez, that's been about 20 years now. And we've seen so many different burn decks. There was Compound Burn, which basically focused around like Dark Room and Nightmare, I think it was. Then it was Chain Burn, which was, oh my goodness. And I think even one of the more recent ones would be like Trickstar, which you guys watched me play somebody earlier this week, actually, who attempted to get me with a Trickstar Burn, and I was lucky enough to have the right cards to play out of it. So mono red, Magic the Gathering, burn deck, let's go. So the first card is the card that we need to double up. It is Ball Lightning. Now, it is basically a shock elemental on steroids. Rather than casting on 1, it casts on 3. Still has the haste trample, but it is a 6/1. At the beginning of the end step, you sack the card. So again, you send it to the discard the graveyard. I'm not sure which terminology Magic uses anymore, because I just haven't played in forever. But again, I know I've got the second copy somewhere. That's a thing. Next up will be the Goblin Guide. You're going to want to run this guy as a playset. You want to get yourself 4 of these. I'm not sure how expensive these guys are anymore. They were like $6 or something when I bought these. And this is so, to show the age of this, this is like the original Zendikar. And for me, Zendikar was like a couple of years out of high school. A few years out of high school. It was great. We got the Eldrazi and stuff. Really cool looking cards. This guy's really great. Again, he's a 2/2 on 1, which is amazing. He has haste, which is why he's in here. Whenever he attacks, defending player reveals the top card of their library. If it's land, it goes into play. If it's not, whatever. It was just an Excavate 1. But again, this will allow us to do quite a bit of damage early on. Next up, we're going to be using Hellspark Elementals. And again, it's sort of like a Spark Elemental. It's a little bit below the Ball Lightning. This one's going to cast on 2. It's 1 red, 1 generic. Trample, haste, sack at the end of the turn. However, it also has Unearthed. Unearthed was an ability that allows us to play the spell again from the discard pile. And of course, it says it gains haste. However, it would have already had it. But this is for the cards that didn't already have haste when that effect was released. There we go. Gains haste, remove it from the game at the end of the turn. It would leave play. Unearth only is a sorcery. So for Yu-Gi-Oh players, that is your normal spell cards, not a quick play, which is what they call their instants. But again, you basically want to run a 4-pack of this guy, and we do have the 1 DCI promo, so that's pretty cool. And then the rest are just whatever. Not sure how much those are worth anymore. It just is what it is. 4 copies, Keldon Marauders. These guys are really cool, and I never thought they looked like humans. I thought they looked more like orcs. But a cool card nonetheless. Cast on 2 for 3/3. Vanishing 2. Vanishing The permanent enters play with time counters equal to the degree, so in this case 2. At the beginning of the upkeep, which is our standby phase, remove a time counter from it, and when the last counter is removed, sacrifice or send to the discard pile the Keldon Marauders card. Now, when it enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, the play zone, it will deal 1 damage to target player. So when I play it, cool, shocks you for 1. Next turn, I can use it to attack. Turn after that, it's going to leave play and burn you for another 1. So again, it just tries to do stuff. Going over to the instance, we are running 3 copies of Fire Blast. And again, I know these are from like I think this was Chase and, no, let's say that again, Jace and Chandra. But I do have this older copy. I'm not sure what the set symbol is. But rather than pay the 6 cast, instead you can sacrifice 2 mountains, which are the land resource system in the game. And then what we do is we do 4 damage to either target creature or player. So this is really like one of those like final move things. You know, I've already tapped everything. I've already played as many spells as I can. I got you almost gone. Okay, I'll sack 2 land and go for game. And again, just a 3-pack. And again, I'm not sure. I think I had a 4th one way back when, before I got rid of all my extra cards. But I do think 3 was a good number for me. Next up was Lightning Bolt. And this one's like self-explanatory because again, it's just low cost. You cast on 1 to do 3 damage to target. So again, I mean, Shock is like the slightly less expensive one, but it only does 2 damage on 1. So Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is just way better in my opinion. Next up, another card that can get expensive, like a couple bucks a card. Magma Jets. And some of these are from Mirrodin. That's 1, that's 2. And then, okay, so I got 3 of them from Mirrodin. And again, I don't remember if that's actually Mirrodin or if this was supposed to be the Dark Steel set. But those were released when I was still in high school, so that was crazy. 1 copy from the Chase, I just said it again, Jace and Chandra clash decks or dual decks. All this does is 2 damage on 2 to either creature or player, but the Scry 2 is why we keep it. This will allow us to look at the top 2 of our deck and choose to either replace them, put them in a different order, or put them both on the bottom of the deck. Because again, we want to see the future. We want to be able to modify. So this way we can play with as much efficiency as possible. Now, one of the cards I really enjoyed playing that was not on everybody's radar was Searing Blaze. Again, another good instant. We're going to cast it on 2. I'm going to use 4 copies. Searing Blaze does 1 damage to target player and 1 to target creature that player controls. And again, in the early game, guys, there's a lot of 1/1s, even 2/1s getting slapped onto the field. This is really good. This could really help. Now, it does have a landfall ability because, again, this is from like the Zendikar or one of the Zendikar blocks. I just don't remember which one. It does have the landfall ability. So if a land enters play under my control during this turn, then instead of doing 1 and 1, it'll change to doing 3 to the player and 3 to the creature instead. So if I play a land, the spell gets better. So again, early and even like mid-game, this can help you put away some of your opponent's cards faster. This way, there's like those Goblin Guides and the Hellspark Elementals, they can get through and do their jobs properly. Next instant we play it for, it's going to be Shard Volley. Again, I don't remember the set. This was something like Morning Tide, maybe. Guys, if you play Magic, call me. Maybe you'll correct me. I know it's a cool symbol. There was a lot of like elementals and stuff. It was a really sweet set. Didn't play back then. Just different. As an additional cost to play this one, you do sacrifice a land. But again, this is 3 damage on 1. So again, it's one of those like, I've got 1 land left. I'll play the Shard Volley, and then I'll play the, what was it again? It's been so long, I don't remember the names. The Fire Blast. So again, kind of in the same vein, trying to do huge damage on as low a cost as possible. Last sorcery I play, or sorry, last instance I play is 2 copies of Volcanic Fallout. Now this is a weird card because it can't be countered, and I don't remember there being a super large amount of these types of cards in Magic. But Volcanic Fallout deals 2 damage to every player and every creature. So again, if your opponent spent a turn putting a bunch of characters in play, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, they can't attack unless they have haste. So you could, during the end of your opponent's turn, tap your land, play the spell, and then try to board wipe. It is strategically sound, but again, it's a good way to get 2 off. It is a little heavier price. That's why we only run the 2. Just is what it is. Next up, we're going to use some cards from Kamigawa block. The original Kamigawa block. I'm going to use the Lava Spike. And again, this does 3 damage to target player. Only player. So don't think that you're going to use this on creatures. But it is 3 on 1, which is huge. Now, you do not need to worry about the fact that it says arcane. There were some cards that, like the spirits and stuff, they got effects for arcane spells. There was this whole thing called Splice onto Arcane. Wonderful game mechanics, but not necessary to discuss here. The last true spell of the deck is going to be the Rift Bolt. And I think this was from Time Spiral. Not that should matter too much. But what this is we can play for the regular cost, or we can play for the suspension cost. Now, if we play for the regular cost, it's 3 damage to creature or player for 3, or we could suspend the card. And again, suspend was an awful lot like the Keldon Marauders with their vanishing, where rather than play the card for its normal cost, pay this cost instead, which is 1 red, and remove it from the game with a time counter on it. At the beginning of your next upkeep, remove a time counter, and then again, when you remove the last one, which will be the next turn, you may now play it without paying its mana cost, because technically you did. What this is it's like having a delayed spell. So you activate it, it goes into the ether, and then comes back and slaps somebody. So again, it's a perfect one. I love it on turn 1, because you don't always want to just hit your opponent. But what's also really funny is playing Goblin Guide on turn 1, and seriously just hitting your opponent. The last of the deck is all land. It should be 17 red mountains. Let's count them out. Plus, I like to show off that I have some of these full arts. So it's going to be 1, that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a foil. 6, 7. That one's a little older. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it looks like I called that wrong. Let's do that one more time. 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. So that was 18. And that one's probably the oldest card in here. It doesn't even have the tap symbol like some of them do in later sets. So I probably shouldn't have been playing that one, but it was a little damaged, and so we used it. But that's pretty neat. And that is, I don't know, call it whatever you want. It's like a 5-turn burn. It is missing 1 card, so as I go ahead and we get everything sorted out down here in the studio, we'll find it, we'll get it back in its deck box, and we'll get it put away. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And again, a little different to just have this in the middle of the week. I'm sure somebody's going to unsubscribe for a day. That'll be fine. Do whatever you feel you got to. But honestly, if you just don't like other games, just skip that day. Come back another day. We'll try to get this back towards the beginning of the week, starting next week. And I don't know, you guys pick. You guys can have another Magic deck next week, or you guys can have another Naruto deck. Your choice. Vote in the comment section. And I'll tally that up on like Sunday. We'll get it figured out. Guys, thanks for watching this. I do hope that you enjoyed it. And keep supporting the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And make sure, guys, go do something for yourself today. Go do a little self-care. And have yourselves a wonderful day. All right. I hope to see you guys again. Let's see. We're going to take tomorrow off. Tomorrow being Friday. And we'll see you again on Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure which one yet, but we will see you this weekend. All right? All right, my friends. See you later.